Long ago, in a small, isolated village at the edge of a deep forest, there lived a farmer named Carl. Carl was a middle-aged man who lived with his wife and two young children in a crumbling thatched hut. Life was harsh. The land was barren. Harvests failed year after year, and meals often consisted of nothing more than dry black bread and wild greens. Carl worked hard, yet his heart burned with resentment. "Why must I suffer like this?" he would mutter. "If only I had gold, I would buy land, build a fine house, and give my children an education." His wife, a gentle woman named Anna, often tried to calm him. "My husband," she said softly, "we are poor, but we have each other. Greed only brings disaster." But Carl would not listen. He dreamed of hidden treasure, like the stories villagers whispered around the hearth at night. One chilly autumn afternoon, while Carl was chopping wood at the forest's edge, he wandered into an unfamiliar place. The trees there were dead and withered, their bare branches reaching skyward like skeletal hands. At the center of this dead forest stood a massive ancient tree, rotting and leafless, like a towering skeleton. Carl stopped, his heart pounding with a strange feeling. He remembered an old rumor: beneath the dead tree lies the devil's treasure, but whoever digs it up must pay a price. Greed surged within him, and Carl laughed it off. "Superstition," he scoffed. "If there's gold, I'll be rich." He grabbed his shovel and began digging around the tree, sweat pouring down his face, his hands trembling with anticipation. After hours of digging, the shovel struck something hard, a heavy, rusted iron chest. Carl opened it, and his eyes blazed with excitement. Inside were gleaming gold coins and sparkling pearls, enough to buy the entire village. "I'm rich!" he shouted, overcome with wild joy. He hurriedly hid the chest and carried the treasure home piece by piece, keeping it secret from his wife and children. From that moment on, Carl changed. He bought vast stretches of land, built a solid stone house, hired servants, and lived in luxury. The villagers marveled. "Carl is so lucky," they said. But Anna saw that her husband was no longer the same man. His eyes gleamed with greed. He became stingy with neighbors, and every night he secretly checked his treasure, fearing someone might steal it. Carl's greed did not stop there. "This gold isn't enough," he thought. "There must be more beneath that tree." He returned to the dead forest again and again, digging deeper, neglecting his fields and his family. Anna pleaded with him. "Husband, enough. We have a house, our children are fed. Don't be greedy, or you'll lose everything." Carl brushed her aside. "Be quiet. I must dig up all the treasure." Their children, once joyful, now feared their father, a man constantly angry and suspicious. The villagers began to avoid them, whispering, "Carl dug up the devil's gold. He's cursed." Then disaster struck, slowly but relentlessly, like the spreading roots of the dead forest. First came the crops. The land Carl had bought suddenly turned barren. Plants withered, fields dried up, as if the dead forest were expanding. He lost harvest after harvest and was forced to sell gold to cover his losses. Then came illness. Anna fell gravely sick from worry, and the children grew weak from the absence of warmth and care. Carl spent gold on doctors, but it was useless. Anna died in pain, whispering with her last breath, "My husband, gold cannot buy happiness." Carl was devastated, yet greed still clouded his mind. "I'll use gold to save the children," he insisted. He returned to the dead tree and dug even more frantically, hoping to find greater treasure, but all he uncovered was dirt, stones, and human bones, the remains of those who had been greedy before him. The tragedy reached its peak when the villagers discovered his secret. One night, bandits attacked Carl, men drawn by rumors of the treasure. They tortured him, stole all the gold he had left, and killed his two children to silence them. Carl survived, broken in body and mind, wandering like a ghost. He returned once more to the dead tree, digging until his strength failed, his hands bleeding, his heart filled with bitter regret. I was greedy, and now there is only emptiness. At last, on a stormy night, Carl collapsed beneath the dead tree and died alone, his body swallowed by the earth. The treasure vanished like a dream. The dead forest spread even farther, and the villagers told Carl's story as a warning. Greed leads to nothingness, costing family, friends, and ultimately one's own self.